Chelsea Football Club, the medical for Gittens is complete. Joao Pedro only wants Chelsea and rejects Newcastle not once but twice. And we need to talk about the 4-1 victory against Benfica. Chelsea 4, Benfica 1. We need to talk about the good, we need to talk about the bad, and we need to talk about the downright ugly, because I went on holiday, I went away for 4 days, quick little getaway to sunny Spain, topped up my tan, got back, and missed a lot. 2 signings potentially, and a huge game that I watched last night and I couldn't make a review for because I left my equipment at home because I wanted to switch off completely. But I'm back now and we need to talk about it. I ain't going anywhere till October, so we're going to be super consistent. Everything is back to normal, and what I want from you guys is, number 1, hit that like button. 1,000 likes go a long way. Number 2, subscribe to the channel because it's the best way you can support. And number 3, if you want more Kavkas View on other clubs as well as Chelsea, go and follow me on TikTok. Yo, we're smashing it over there. 1 month we got 100k views. 100k views in a month. That's mad. Joao Pedro. Look, we need to start with him, then we'll get into Gittens, and then we'll break it up with the Benfica, with the bad and the downright ugly. What's going on? So, all summer, we've been linked with Joao Pedro. Since the early stages of May, we've been hearing Joao Pedro's name. And all of us have PTSD when it comes to Brighton and Chelsea. What they end up doing is taking our pants down. They absolutely embarrass us. They humiliate us, and we end up paying significantly more money than we need to get anybody. So, what's going on? It looks like Newcastle have been chasing the player. Newcastle have had 2 bids rejected, and 1 unnamed club at the point in time was interested. It's come out now, according to Fab and other sources, it's Chelsea Football Club. Sky Sports are now reporting that Joao Pedro only wants Chelsea. Out of all the Premier League clubs that are interested in him, he only wants Chelsea, and the reality is, at this moment in time, Chelsea really want him. The talks are intensifying. It's getting to a point where Chelsea believe they can make good progress, to the point that Ben Jacobs says he could be registered for the last 8 of the Club World Cup. That's how close he could be. However, this is where now we need to take a step backwards, because we're not a reactionary channel here. What we do is we get the information, and then I give you my perspective, and then you form your own opinion based on what I said, as well as the information and your own knowledge. What's going on here? £55 million is a lot of money for Joao Pedro. £55 million, maybe even more, is a stupid amount of money in my opinion for somebody that's going to come into the club and not be a starter in any of the 3 positions. Let me talk to you. Number 1, in the number 9 position. He's not a better number 9 than Liam Delap. Liam Delap is significantly better than him at being a striker. The stats prove it, the style of play proves it, and everything about him in terms of the way that he finishes proves it. Number 10, Cole Palmer's the starter. Listen, Nkunku's in arguably the best form he's ever been at Chelsea, and he's not even being considered to start ahead of Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer got Felix out the club. He got, what's his name, Nkunku basically out the club. He is the starter. He's the bona fide starter. There will be no debate about that. Maresca has given him the crown. He's carrying the crown. The left wing. We've signed Gittens. Gittens is going to play. When you spend £55 million on a player, 42 plus the add-ons, you're expected to play him. And more importantly, Joe Shields rates him, and Enzo Maresca rates him. This wasn't a signing driven by the sporting directors. This was a signing that was driven by Enzo Maresca and Joe Shields. This move is very, very odd. If we're bringing him in as the 9-2, it means Jackson's leaving. If we're bringing him in as a 10, this is a waste of resources. And if we're bringing him in as a winger, it's just misprofiling the talent. However, I want to hear your opinion, because I don't know whether this is definitely going to happen. However, this is heating up, and I can promise you right now, this stinks of a move that's going to happen based on the way that Fab's talking. Jamie Gittens is a Chelsea player. Look, it's not been announced by the club. However, the medical's complete, the fees agreed, and we need to talk about it. So, what's going on? Reports in Germany are stating that the fee is £55 million. Reports in England, and more importantly, reports from Fabrizio Romano, are stating that it's 42 million plus 13. So what's happening here is that classic Dortmund wants it out there that they got 55 million for a player, so the next time they sell a player that doesn't want to leave, they can get a higher fee. Chelsea want the lower number out there because they basically want to show that they didn't get bullied into paying what was expected. Since then, this was announced 2 days ago. A medical for Gittens has been complete. Gittens basically is a matter of now doing the social media content and editing and posting and getting him ready. Then he's going to be a Chelsea player. He can't be registered for a Club World Cup. The reason being, he's already registered with Borussia Dortmund, and it's one of those things that he is currently a Chelsea player. It's just a matter of now confirmation. What's going on though? For me, this move never was my cup of tea. I never wanted him. However, I see the potential that they're buying. Direct winger, good ball striking, ability to carry the ball at pace. I do have my reservations about him getting the separation that he was getting in the Bundesliga, in the Premier League. However, he's 20 years old. I keep getting reminded. He's very young. He's not going to be the same player that he's been right now. So I need to calm down a bit and let's hope this kid develops. But he gives us a really good threat on that left-hand side. Hopefully he develops and hopefully we can trust Enzo Maresca. This move I am more positive about than I am the Joao Pedro. Let me know your thoughts. Chelsea 4, Benfica 1. We need to talk about the good, the bad and the downright ugly. Because that game was absolutely crazy. Right? It was absolutely bonkers. And I'm going to explain to you guys why. I want to talk about the good. Look, majority of this is going to be positive. I've got 2 negatives and in terms of ugly. I've got 4 bads and the rest are just positives. So I want to talk about positives because I'm in a positive mood. I'm happy. I've just come back off holiday. I'm in a good mood and we're going to talk about it. That was arguably the best performance we've had all tournament. For 86 minutes before the weather intervened, that performance was perfect. It might not have been perfect in the attacking front. I mean defensively. I don't think they had a shot on target. We dominated them. We got 1 goal from a free kick. And they never looked like they were in this game. They genuinely could not play out the back. We were suffocating them with our press. Anything that went over the top, the defenders were bullying them. We were really looking good in that 4-2-2-2 formation. It actually looked very nice. Reece James scored a wonderful free kick. It was a cheeky, audacious attempt. It went in. I was gassed. Everyone around me was gassed. It was a great finish. The midfield. What was very interesting is we have an array of midfielders now that the world of football could be jealous for. Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo, Santos, Isugu, KDH. KDH being 6th choice is bad, by the way, right? Even though he came on yesterday. But once the season starts, we know how this is going to work out. But we played a midfield 3. Lavia and Caicedo and Enzo bossed that midfield. They were winning every challenge. Benfica couldn't handle the physicality. They couldn't handle the extra man in the middle. And more importantly, what they couldn't handle was the technical ability and the ability to manipulate the ball that we had in there. And then, to make matters worse, the build-up wasn't even coming through the midfield. The build-up was coming through the centre-backs. We had Badiashile, Colwell and Reece James on the ball. It was a cheat code. They were playing the ball through. They were receiving the ball quickly. Quick, sharp, incisive passing. They just looked comfortable. And defensively, Colwell has grown into a man. Like in front of our eyes, he has went from a young prospect to somebody that is becoming a very, very good defender. You're looking at him and you're like, this guy is really developing. Reece James, Reece James was mad because a winger tried to isolate him one-on-one and he was hustling him off the ball like there was no tomorrow. It was like, listen, get on the weight, Sonny Jim. You can't do anything to me. You can't do nothing to me, my friend. I am Reece James. I am the best right back in the world. I am a Colossus man. I am what it takes to be one of the best players in the world. And the way he was holding himself, the way he was carrying himself, he feels and looks now the Reece James that we knew. And for me, this is such an impressive way. And what I really liked as well, we always posed the threat on transition. Reece gets the ball, gives it to Palmer. Palmer looks up, through balls. We had 2 sprinters in behind. Are there anybody to leave space in behind? Neto running in behind. The other side we had it in the lap. Then there was a little bit of Enzo trying to pick up pockets. We had a mixture of a lot of talent. Yes, a lot of people didn't like the lap's hold-up play. The problem is it's congested. It is a completely different game to what he's used to at Ipswich. And there was one occasion where there was a little bit of space. Caicedo played him through. He was slightly offside. But he went around the keeper and slotted. And I was like, yep, we got ourselves a talented keeper. A goal scorer, sorry. Then it got very interesting because the weather changed and the game changed because the referee started doing some nonsense, genuinely nonsense. We gave a penalty away And we scored 3 goals after that point against 10 men when there was a sending off, and it was wonderful. Nkunku's winner was amazing. And what happened was Palmer got the ball, threaded it to Caicedo. Caicedo absolutely slapped that ball. The keeper made a meal of it. Comes to Nkunku, and rather than kicking it straight away, Nkunku pauses, calms himself down, and flicks it lovely into the roof of the net. Then we had the alternative, right? We had the other opportunity. Caicedo gets the ball, threads the ball through the lines. Pedro Neto's running through, and he slots it wonderfully. It's exactly what you expected. KDH does the same, and Chelsea win, and Chelsea are victorious. Now we need to talk about the bad. And in the bad, look, the reality is, what happened with the weather, you can't control. It's one of those things where when you decide to host a tournament in the US, natural disasters, natural instincts like the natural weather instances will occur. Depending on what stadium you're in, you can't do anything about it. The one thing you can do is your players need to be switched on. And what happened was, a free kick was given. That was never a free kick. Cross comes in, Otamendi headers it. Gusto jumps, hand in the air. Look, when you jump, your hands go in the air. Look, sometimes it's a matter of fact. He can't do anything about it. But it's a penalty. And a lot of people said it's not a penalty and it's a stupid penalty. For me, the reason it's a penalty is because his hand's in an unnatural position. And this is the key, if it was us, I would be calling for it. So I can't sit here and be a hypocrite. I'll never be one of those. But the free kick before that was not a free kick. So we were getting robbed. We were absolutely getting robbed, and we retaliated in a way that we should have. And you know what? I loved that about it. The character building was... The other thing I didn't like was the lack of ball carriers in the team. You have Enzo, you have Caicedo, you have Lalia. Pass, pass, pass. You have Palmer, wants to pass, can carry the ball. Neto wants to carry the ball. The Lap wants to run in behind and have the balls fed through to him. We lacked ball carriers. I think we need to improve in that area, and this is where the market will have to be useful. You know, Estevao added in, and then other players. So overall, I think this is where it gets interesting. The other thing I want to talk about is the reaction from the fans for the substitutions. Look, I love Andre Santos. I think Andre Santos should have came on instead of KDH. However, Maresca's made it evidently clear. He will play the players that have more experience in his system because he has taken this tournament very seriously. We're 1-0 up. It's a tight game. He does not want to bring on somebody that doesn't know his system and is going to have growing pains. No loose touches because they're thinking about what to do next. And for me, this is where it gets interesting because a lot of fans are like, whoa, what are we doing? Why is Josh not coming on instead of Gusto? Why is Santos not coming on instead of KDH? And I get that. I am frustrated too. I would give them the opportunities. However, it is the last 16 of a big tournament. This is a big tournament. Look at the money that's on the line. And they don't want to waste it. So for me, I get it. That's why it's in the bad. But I think we need to be better as fans. We support Chelsea, not individual player FC. So the final thing is Badiashile's injury. Badiashile must be the most unlucky player I have ever seen in my life. Because the minute this guy builds up an array of form or gets a few minutes under his belt, injury strikes again. Yesterday, I thought we hit something. You know them ones. Baddy on the left, Levi through the middle, Reece on the right. Yet now, he was on crutches. It looks like it's a serious injury, and it looks like he's going to be out for a while. Great. Like, this is the story of his time at Chelsea. The ugly. Sanchez. Look, we played near perfect game for 86 minutes. Yet in that near 86 perfect minutes, my dearest and nearest Robert Sanchez decides to throw the ball out wide and blames Caicedo when the ball doesn't go out to him. Every game, this man will give the opposition an opportunity. And for me, it's just not right, man. It's just not right. We must do better. We need better in that position. Listen, Rob Sanchez could keep 15 clean sheets in a row. I still will not be comfortable with him as my number one. That's the ugly truth. I'm not lying, and it's frustrating. It's the truth. The other thing is the weather. They need to do something about this tournament. Because if this is going to impact the World Cup next year, which it will, you're not going to change the weather. You know what I mean? Unless you play indoor games. This can't be right, man. Like, You can't have games stop for 2 hours because there are thunder and lightning strikes. I get it. Like, it's protocol, player safety. But just don't host a tournament there. The stadiums are half empty. Like, and then to make matters worse, you have to wait 2 hours for 5 minutes of additional football. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how you're going to fix this. But it is a mess. And normally, I don't talk about stuff like this. I'm very positive about this tournament. I really like this tournament. But it is what it is. Listen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. Peace out. I'm out.